We'll get more chance, hopefully, Ella, to talk about that. But now we turn our attention to the compound under-18 men's competition. Bronze medal match up first. Let's go down and meet the contenders. Well, here we go. Two archers who've had some experience on this field here in the team competitions. That is Turkey's Yunus Aslan, who is shooting up against an Italian. I say Turkey, of course, we now got to say Turkey. Aslan from Turkey up against Fabrizio Aloisi from Italy. Both have been out here. Conditions, though, today on the individual day, a little bit different. This for the compound under-18 men's European bronze medal, and it will be Arslan to shoot first.
Just like everyone else, he's starting a tiny bit left, although I think these two archers have a little bit of an advantage because they were shooting yesterday, and I think the conditions are similar, but maybe not quite as extreme as we saw yesterday in the team matches.
Well, good grouping from Aloisi, but a potential perfect from Arslan. Certainly a 29 to start with. Seems like the speed's just dialed up a tiny bit, maybe 10-15% shooting faster. Is that a difference between men's and women's compound archery?
Not necessarily, you know. I think a lot of women shoot really fast and a lot of men shoot really fast. It's not necessarily a sign of the men or the women or anything like that, or even the younger or older people. Sometimes it's actually to do with the wind. So I know for me, I'll shoot faster and more aggressive in the wind because you're a lot stronger in that. I do think it's calmed down a lot out there. So this is probably just down to the shot timing of these two archers. And perhaps also shooting team yesterday, you get used to having to shoot that much faster when you have so much less time. So maybe that's just their shot speed.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Because, and that's very much why I teased that one out of you. I've seen a number of archers, including yourself, tend to shoot much quicker than a lot of other archers, and it's irrelevant of gender. Is it style?
Yeah, for sure. It's just, I think it's just individually, you know, everyone's a little bit different. I just shoot fast. I don't really know why.
This is the problem. It's the go-to answer for all archers. It's whatever works for you.
It's very individual sports. Yeah, everyone needs to find how they work. And I always think the best shooting from anyone is their most natural shooting and natural form. And that you can't teach. That's just the person.
Start of the second. Aloisi from Italy trailing by 2. But that is going to give him some confidence.
It's really important, I think, for him and for his opponent for him to start with that 10 and say, hey, like, I know I may have opened with some 9s, but doesn't mean I'm going to lay down and let you have this win.
Indications that Aloisi's dialed into the middle. Great grouping as well.
There's a little more pressure on his opponent as well.
First perfect of the day. drop point from Arslan. Just the one means the gap has closed by a single point. But boy, that was an impressive second end from Aloisi.
Yeah, I think that was super important for him. You know, he obviously had a nervous or not quite accounted for first end. And so it's important that he recovers from that and comes back fighting, which he's definitely done there, and put some pressure on his opponent, and he managed to claw 1 point back. You know, he's still got another 3 to go, and 1 point is very, very doable.
Come on, you said it in the gap, in the break between the matches. There's a stat out there that you were dying to tell me. Go on, tell everyone.
So there's this guy on social media that did some statistics after some of the last World Cups, and he looked at whether you are up or down in terms of winning or losing in the first end, what the probability is that you'll win the match. And it was actually 75% of people that were winning after the first end ended up winning their match, which is incredibly interesting. And yeah, I thought it was interesting that the same happened with Hallie Bolton. You know, she was up in her first end only by a point, but she ended up winning. And I wonder whether it will be the same for the youth archers and whether that's just the same across the board. I think part of that will definitely be mentality more than the score, but it's a really interesting one for sure.
Well, Aloisi has closed the gap by a single point, but still trails, so shoots first in the third end. And back into the middle of the target as well. That's the 4th 10 in a row. Arslan is here with his response, and he's also in the 10, just tickling the X ring.
Both archers look really confident in themselves and their shooting. I think that one will be in from where I am, but obviously a judge needs to look at it a little bit closer.
See the flags fluttering in the background. The wind's just slightly picked up, at least temporarily. Another line cutter, and looks potentially to be another perfect score for Aloisi. Now, did you see anything in particular there, or was that just a badly executed shot? Wind?
I didn't, but I did hear the buzzer go really quickly after he shoot it, so I do wonder if he ran out of time and maybe drew up later than he should have, or something like that. Otherwise, there may have been a little bit of breeze or nerves causing it.
Yeah, time pressure certainly has been a factor here. Aloisi looking single-minded, determined, trying to stay focused here.
That gesture from the judge will mean that they have upgraded that value to a 10. I believe they changed the rules either this year or last year that the judge now needs to also indicate visually whether they are upgrading or downgrading an arrow when they're calling at the target.
Well, what was an incredibly tense battle as you look at the Turkish contingent here supporting Yunus Arslan. Well, things have turned right around in this match. Aloisi now in the driving seat.
4-point lead is a pretty strong thing to go into with 6 hours left to shoot, especially when he's just shot 2 perfect 30s. So he definitely has a strong advantage here.
Arslan having to fight back. He needs to have some good arrows himself, and he'll be hoping for a mistake from the Italian.
See some breeze moving behind there. I think that probably will be what caused that arrow to hit out left. It's starting to come down on him. That was a little bit unexpected. His shot looked quite nice and smooth.
Now, can Arslan capitalise on this? He does with a 10 and a 29. What a difference.
Exactly what he needed. Reduce that gap to go into that last end.
Bit of pressure now on Aloisi.
Yeah, and you can see some movement on his front arm. I don't think that is from the breeze. I think that might be from a little bit of nerves. But he still manages the 10 out of it.
Yeah, cuts the line. It could have been a lot better for him, but 9 and 8 means that that 4-point gap has been cut in half. And whilst Aloisi still leads, he's being chased from behind by Turkey's Arslan. So you're sitting in a box of Fabrizio Aloisi. What are you trying to do if you're the coach?
I think you're just trying to keep him calm and keep him relaxed and just remind him of the good shots and of what he does and keep his confidence high. You know, he just had some not great shots or not great scores and he's lost a lot of his lead, but he still is in lead. So as a coach, the main thing that you're doing there is just putting confidence into your archer and just reminding them that they're okay and you're here for them and reminding them to enjoy it as well. It's so easy to forget that and just get so stressed out on that stage and worry about losing or winning or anything like that. But we all have to remember sometimes that actually this is what we train for. This is where we want to be. We want to be out here. We want to be performing. We want to have a chance in those finals to win a medal, and it's important to enjoy the moment.
Well, if you're just joining us, you're watching the individual medal day at the European Youth Archery Championships. This is the under-18 compound men's bronze medal match between Arslan here of Turkey and Aloisi of Italy, and our expert analyst today is none other than the current world #1 from Great Britain, Ella Gibson.
That's just what Arslan wants now that lead has been reduced again to only 1 and it's all into the last couple arrows.
It's still nervy, isn't it? And Arslan's still making a
Definitely.
few adjustments there. Pressure really on Aloisi here. 10 would really settle things down for him. Still into the 9s. So it's not done yet, but I think you'd probably rather be in the Italian shoes. Nothing to lose.
Oh, it's only a 9. So 9 will win.
So 9 for a European podium position and the bronze medal. Aloisi on the shooting line. Oh, it looks like it's
10.
Cut the line for a 10, and boy, it was never certain, but Fabrizio Aloisi from Italy has taken the compound under-18 men's bronze medal here at the 2022 European Youth Championships.